Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Kyrielle and today I'm going to be going through my current go-to makeup. I go through the kind of technique that I've been doing recently to do my makeup quick, easy, with minimal product, still look really put together and still have like a full face. I also did this bright eye look as well in the video. It was really quick and simple. But yeah, this includes products that are like my go-to currently, and I also slot in some of my favorites into this video as well, just for general makeup use. But yeah, before we head right on in, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you decide to subscribe. All you need to do is hit the red button down below and the bell button. That'll just notify you when I upload next. Why not? Come on, stick around for a bit. You never know, you might find some videos that you like. I've got coming up to 200 videos on my channel. I think I've blabbed enough. Without further ado, if you want to see my go-to current products and this makeup look right here, then all you gotta do is keep on watching. Okay, so the way I prime my skin depends on how it's looking on the day. If my skin's looking pretty good, I'll just kind of add like a moisturizing primer, like the Primerizer by Smashbox or the XX Revolution Cloud Primer. But I am looking a little bit porous today. Okay, my skin's acting up a little bit this morning. I have already moisturized, so now I'm gonna go in with pretty much my go-to and my favorite. This is the Origins Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer with Willow Herb. This is such a good primer, especially if you have visible pores on the skin, which we all do, but some are smaller than others, okay? And I find especially around my cheeks here and the side of my nose, sometimes it just looks like, you know, a little bit more open for business than what I want, you know? So I'm gonna go in with this. This is literally one of those products that I'm like, how did I ever live without? And also, I just feel like it's genius. Actually, let me give you a close-up so you guys can really see what my skin looks like before. So you can see they're just a little bit more visible. They're not extreme. They have looked more open than this. But I just like to smooth them over on the daily, you know? And this primer does exactly that. I have a little bit of scarring over here from some spots that I've had. I've got a little active one here. I've got a weird one coming underneath my eye by here, which I've never had before. Also, my under eye circles today are something else. We are going to sort that. Okay, now that it's done, I tend to decide what I'm gonna do with my eyes now. And honestly, what I do with my eyes is always different. I never really do the same look. I may do the same style, but I'll never do like the same colors or anything like that. I switch up my eyeshadow pretty much whenever I do my makeup, just because that's my fun area. That's where I like to switch things up, you know. I was thinking today of actually using this because I have not used it on my channel yet. It's the Lottie London X Laila Loves palette, the Ibiza version. I was feeling kind of like a golden hour inspired makeup, like very warm, orangey, sunsetty, but simple. So I picked this out to play with, but because I really want to blend it out and have it like really soft, I think I'm gonna do my skin first. I think I'll just zoom you guys in just a little bit more so you guys can see a little bit closer. When I am in a rush or when I just want to do my makeup relevantly quickly, I tend to do things a little bit backwards. So first of all, what I'm going to do is actually go in with my contour stick by Fenty. This is in the shade Amber. I kind of switch it up on whether I use the matchstick or the cream bronzer, but today I'm just going to go in with this. And I just like to apply it to my brush like so, just because I find it easier to blend very quickly when it's already on my brush. And then I just stamp product where I want to kind of contour or bronze for the day, and I tend to do this very roughly because it's under foundation. So it doesn't matter too much, but I do like to blend it a little, you know. But I stamp it where I would usually contour. I also do my lips, which I saw that this has actually gone viral on TikTok, I think. Contouring your lips this way, and I was like, I've been doing that for a while. And actually I learned it from Scott Barnes, so it's not something new. Down the nose a little. I like this brush because it's almost like a duo fiber one, so it's got the little bristles that really helps with smaller areas or where you want to lightly add the product to make my eyes look a little bit more pulled up. I'm just gonna add a little bit by here. I know I look insane. It will make sense in the end, okay? Just bear with me. We gotta get a little crazier first of all. Next, I go in with a liquid or cream blush. When I'm doing this, I pretty much use like all creams. I do add powders in the end, but for like a baseline, if I'm doing my everyday makeup and I wanna do it relevantly quickly, I will stick to creams. One blush that I've been reaching for so often, and I really like the formula, is the super dewy liquid blush that they came out with. And this is in the shade Fake the Flush. It's so beautiful and the formula is so easy to work with. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that on the back of my hand. It does look very scary first of all, but it shears out and looks beautiful on the cheeks. So I'm just gonna pick that up with the same brush and I'm gonna kind of put this on the high point of my cheekbone, not really bringing it onto the apples, but kind of where you would almost highlight. This kind of lifts the face, you know, give you that facelift that we're all after because we're so afraid to get old. And I just kind of briefly blend this, but I keep it kind of vibrant. Obviously we don't want harsh edges, you know, but I love this color. It looks so good. I mean, not right now, I know I look crazy. Just trust the process, okay? I really love how like sheer but impactful this formula is. It's so good. Other products I like to use for this is the Mitchell blush. I've got like 5 shades of that. That is one of my favorites, but I'm feeling a more kind of glowy complexion today and they are more on the matte side. These are my 2 go-to colors in the blushes. It's Peach Sugar and then also Posy Rosy, which is a new one to my collection. I also really like this by Milani, which is the Cheek Kiss in Coral Crush. It's more of like a balm kind of blush, but it is very pigmented and comes out quite strong on the cheeks, but that is kind of ideal for this technique where it's like underneath my foundation, you know. Now I'm going to color correct. Now I don't always do this, but my under eyes are looking particularly bad today, so I'm going to take my Revolution Conceal and Correct concealer in the shade Peach, and I'm also going to take the concealer that I'm going to use today, which is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh. Such a good concealer. This peach shade is a little too dark for me personally. If you're fair, you literally just want a hint of peach. You don't want to have to go in and then cover the peach that you added on your under eyes. It's just supposed to cancel out what's under your skin. I do have a full, more in-depth color correction video on my channel. It's a little bit old now, but still relevant and I still agree with the advice. So if you're interested, I'll put it in the eye over here if you want to know. But I'm just gonna mix these 2 together to make a fairer version. So I'm just gonna tap this on the area that's really purple. Did not apply too much product and I'm just keeping it in this area here. I know my lighting's a little bit off because I'm dealing with natural sunlight today, but I hope you can tell the difference. Like this is just so purple over here and then this is a little bit brighter, more neutralized, and that's what you want to neutralize the color. The Conceal and Define concealer is a little bit more matte and I personally have dehydrated under eyes, so mixing it in with a more hydrating concealer works better for me. I'm just gonna leave that for a minute, leave it settle and everything. Now I'm gonna go in with my foundation. So because I've done all this underneath, I'm gonna be using a sheerer coverage. I tend to flip between foundations and I like to switch them out quite a bit, but the 2 that I've recently been gravitating towards is the Skin Paradise Tinted Water Cream by L'Oreal. This is so good. It's such a weird formula. It's very lightweight and I guess it is more of a medium coverage, but I use a very light hand with this. But most recently I have actually been using the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop foundation. This is newer to my collection, but I've just found myself wanting to use it, especially when doing this technique. It's just easy, it makes the skin look really nice and it still shows through what I put underneath. So I'm gonna be using this one today. I just shake it up. I find I don't need a lot either, so I just add a little bit on the back of my hand and then I go in with a brush and just pick up a little bit of product. Like I kind of shear it out and then just have it on the base of the brush, and then I'll just go in between first of all with the excess product where I don't have any product on my face, so I'll go there first and then I'll start to work around these areas and I'll just fill in these gaps first of all, and then once I've barely got any product left on my brush I'll go over the blush and contour, and this just melts everything together. It makes it all smooth, it makes it all seamless. I don't have that much foundation on. Like I just find I use so much less product when I do my makeup this way. I'm gonna add just a little bit more because I've run out really. Obviously I have not made up this technique, we've seen this many a time before, but I feel like whenever I see people doing it previously, they've used like a full coverage foundation and I just sat and thought, I was like, well, why don't I use a sheerer coverage to show everything through? that I've put down. Does that make sense? This to me just looks more like it's my skin. You know, like I have nice skin. When I do it this way, it just looks more natural. Because I've used the sheerer foundation, you can still see a little bit of discoloration, but it just looks better. Now I'm gonna go in with my actual concealer and use this to highlight just a little bit. And I'm gonna apply a little bit to the face as well. I'm gonna quickly blend this in. Because I've added the blush and everything underneath, I'm just a little bit more careful when blending out my concealer. Okay, now this is all on. I like to powder. My current favourite and go-to is the HnB Cosmetics Soft Focus Loose Powder. This is in the shade Fair. It's just really finely milled. I can use this underneath my eyes and on my face. I add a little bit of powder and then tap off all of the excess. I'm just gonna tap out any creases and just lightly set. Now I do have creases underneath my under eyes, so I'm not expecting this powder to do miracles, but it does just help kind of blur like a little bit, you know. I also tend to squint my eyes a lot, so I always tend to get like these vertical lines, which is really annoying. You know what? I emote. I move my face throughout the day. And then I also use this powder to just set the rest of my face lightly. I don't use too much of this. This is one of the best kind of like soft blurring powders though. Other powders that I like to do depending on what kind of mood I'm in. If I want a really matte base, then I'll go for the HnB Cosmetics loose powder. That one's really affordable and it does really blur your skin, but I find it is just very matte. Whereas this one still allows my skin to look a little bit lifelike, you know? And then other ones that I like for a more glowy skin day is the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder and then also the Jaclyn Hill Luminous powder. Very different price points, very similar result. Okay, now that's all set in place. I do like to add a little bit of bronzer because Fenty is a little bit more cool tone, so it's more of a contour. Lately I've been going for the Revolution Bronzer Reloaded in the shade Holiday Romance. This has a slight sheen to it and I really love it. And I literally just take this on a big powder brush and I just kind of go over and in between the contour, just lightly brushing it. I don't like to go in like too heavy-handed or anything. This is a very light bronzer, so it works very well for me, but it just adds a little bit of warmth, you know. For highlights, I tend to switch those up every single day, but I do have go-tos. For single highlights, I'll either go for Ofra Star Island. I've talked about this way too much on my channel, but it is just one of my favorites. I love the undertone. It gives almost like a natural sheen to the skin, but you can build this up to be blinding. It kind of melts into my skin really well, and Ofra's formula is just amazing. The XX Revolution highlighter, I can't remember what the name of this is. It's not on it either, but it's like exposure something XX. The name is stupid, okay, but the actual shade is called Echo, and this one is blinding. I find it hard to kind of dull this one down. But it is very beautiful on the skin and it does just melt in as well. I feel like this is one of the best formulas that Revolution has ever brought out. It's just amazing. It is a little bit more pink toned, so it really just depends what I'm feeling on the day. And then because you girls got so many options, palette wise, I tend to go for the Rachel Loves Pixie. I've raved about this on my channel as well. It's just so good. These are also blinding formula wise and ridiculously smooth. And also there's options in here if you want to change the color or anything. Amazing. Again, another one that just melts into the skin, which is pretty much what I look for in a highlight these days. And then an oldie but a goodie that I tend to reach for is the Soph X Revolution palette. Can you tell which shade is my favorite? Honestly, I kind of like mix and match these, but the main one I do use is this one. And this is another one that kind of melts into the skin. And I feel like you can kind of sheer this formula out a little bit so it looks not too intense, you know? It's kind of got different finishes in here, which I like. But after all that spiel, I'm gonna try this one again today, which is the Revolution Highlighter Reloaded in Peach Lights. I've only tried this once, so I just thought I'd try it again today, dig it out, you know. This is very peachy, and because I am going for more of a orangey eye look today, I thought I'd just throw this on. And as I said, I like to try new things, so let's put this one on today. I'm gonna go in with kind of like a light hand because I don't want it to be too intense, considering I have like more of a natural makeup on. It does have like a little bit more of a pinky kind of reflect. I thought it'd be more peach considering it's called Peach Lights. But you know what? It's fine. It's not like purple or anything, which is great. Alright, now my skin is pretty much done. I'm just gonna set real quick and I'm gonna use the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Mist. This is kind of a go-to For me, I honestly usually forget to use setting spray these days. I don't know why. Whenever I use it, I'm like, oh, that's why people use these. I'm just gonna set this real quick. Such a glorious smell and such a glorious mister on this thing. And also the finish is so good. Alright, so that is it for the base. Now let's get into the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and do one off camera so I know what I'm doing, and then I'll come back and talk you through what I did. It's not gonna be too complex because again, this is just like an everyday makeup. So I'm just gonna go ahead, hopefully make something pretty, and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is what I did on the eye. It's super duper simple. It's only really 3 shades of eyeshadow. It's still bright and colourful. It kind of reminds me of like a Solero ice cream. I really like it. And yeah, I was just feeling the orangey tones today. So first thing I'm going to do real quick is actually my eyebrow. I use 2 products religiously pretty much every single day, and they're both from Benefit. Number one is the 24-hour brow setter. This is one of the best products for brows. I know they're expensive, but I have not found an alternative that is similar. I'm very aware I look really orange right now. The lighting is doing me dirty. Is that better? I can't work it out, I'm sorry guys. I love the fluffy brow look, so I'm just gonna run this through my brows and make them all spike up. I was hoping the NYX brow glue was gonna be similar, but it's really not. That's really thick and doesn't stick down my eyebrows the way this does. Come on drugstore, we need something similar. Once the hairs are kind of like sticking up, I actually take the actual like brow spoolie comb thing, lay it flat and just push it up against the brow hairs just so it really sticks them down, you know. And then I take the Precisely My Brow eyebrow pencil. This is in the shade 3, and I just go in and fill in any sparse areas and add some hairs where I want them. I do have quite a bit of brow hair, but I do still get sparse areas, so just gonna fill those in. And that is that for my quick brow. Now for shadow, I do prime. It does not take that long just to add a little bit of eyeshadow primer. Just literally pat it on and pat it out. This makeup literally like does not take me that long at all. I'd say like if I'm taking my time and enjoying myself, I'd say around 45 minutes, which to be honest is not that long if I'm taking my time. So for the eyeshadow, I first went in with this shade, which is so pretty. It's like a pastel yellowy orange, and I'm just gonna stamp that on the outer corner. And I'm using a big fluffy brush, which I don't usually use for my eye looks, but because I just want this to be soft and really blown out, this works really well, and this shade is just very light, so I don't mind it going everywhere. And I take this all the way into the inner corner and flare it out towards the temple. I mean, this is only literally 3 shades. I imagine you don't really need me to give a tutorial on this, but you know, why not just go in depth while I'm here. And I'm taking this shade, which is a little bit more coral, a little bit more of a deeper orangey colour. These do have shade names, but I can never work it out on the back of these palettes. I think the shade I just picked up is Daiquiri, and this one I believe is Bora Bora. Not 100% sure though. I'm just gonna pop this on the outer third and then work it through my crease like on the mobile lid almost. I'm just literally slapping this on. Then I'm taking this gorgeous orange shimmer in the corner here. These shimmers are very chunky, so just bear that in mind. I'm going to pick some up on a brush and then I'm going to dampen it with some setting spray. Like, it's very crumbly. It picks up on the brush in like little bits, if you can see. But it's fine. I'm just gonna tilt my head forward and look down so I don't get fallout everywhere all over my face. Make sure I don't really get fallout, and to get the best impact, I tap the product on first of all, and then once I've done that, I just kind of slide my brush over to smooth out the texture. Not that these look textured on the actual lid, but just to make sure it's all smooth. It's that almost kind of like wet look to the lid. For the under eye, I just took the pale orange Bora Bora, just shoved it under there, and just take the deeper orange on the outer corner to match it all up. For the inner corner sparkle, I wanted to add something a little bit extra because I tend to add glitter on the daily. Even if it's just like this, I like to add a little bit of sparkle to my looks. So I'm going to take this by Stila. It's one of their mini liquid eyeshadows, and this is in the shade Follow the Sun, which I just think it's so beautiful for this look. It has like orange glitters in there and it just pops it off. I'm just going to use the tip of the doe foot and I'm just going to apply a little bit here, and I'm going to extend it on the inner corner. My one is a little bit dried up, so bear with me. But I'm just bringing it in because I do extend my inner corner with a little bit of gel liner. So this just kind of like acts as a guideline, and then I just fade it back a little. I'm just gonna tight line, and I'm gonna use Woodsy by Colourpop and Raw Beauty Christie. And then for the inner corner extension, I'm taking Woodsy again on a little liner brush. Just like this. And I'm literally gonna just go above where the glitter is. Then to make sure my eye kind of looks like it's been extended, I'm going to go back in with the Bora Bora shade just lightly, and I'm going to blend this eyeshadow along the line so it all blends in and it doesn't come to like a sudden stop for there. And this just makes sure that it all comes together. I'm going to add a nude colour to the waterline. This is Honeydew by Colourpop. Now I'm just going to curl my lashes and then add some mascara. I'm just going to use my usual, which is the Falsies Lash Lift. This has slowly become one of my favourite mascaras. It's got better with age, which I find a lot with mascaras. But yeah, I really love what this does to my lashes. And then I just kind of tap the bottom because I don't like to add too much down here. I find that my mascara always transfers because my lower lashes are kind of long. So I try not to add too much product there. To finish this up, I'm just going to add a brow bone highlight, and I'm just going to use the highlighter that we used on the face. Alright, and that is it for this eye look. Honestly, if I was doing this in real time, I'd be doing both eyes at the same time and it would not take me that long at all. Maybe about 10 minutes, probably less, in all honesty. But yeah, it's super pretty, super bright and impactful, but just very simple. Now the eyes are done, let's zoom you guys out and finish up with pretty much my everyday lip. Okay, so for a lip combo, I tend to change it up every single day. What I do like to do is go in with a lip balm first of all, which is the NARS Afterglow lip balm, and this is in the shade Fast Lane. I mean, it doesn't really matter, it's just a lip balm. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just put a lip liner on and then put this over top, but with this eye look I'd need to add something else, but I just add it as like a moisturizing base, you know. I do love a kind of like glossy nude lip for every day, but if I'm going out and wearing a mask, I tend to go for more of like a matte lip, so I add this as a base and then just blot off the excess. And I'm just going to take a nude lip liner. This is the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF. This is a very nude shade, and then I tend to colour in the rest of my lip with the lip liner, and then I'll tap over a liquid lipstick. So today I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Stunner Lip Paint in the shade Unbutton. I'm going to take a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and I'm literally just going to tap it in the centre. This is the way I like to apply a matte lip but not be super duper committed, you know. And have the lip balm as like a moisturising base just makes it really comfortable. I like doing it this way so I can still get the mattifying, long lasting effect of the liquid lipstick, but just a little bit lighter on the lips, you know. But yeah, that is basically how I kind of do my everyday makeup, or my everyday base anyway. As I said, I do switch things up, but this is the kind of format that I've been going with recently. I'm gonna go ahead, sort out my hair, and then we'll finish up this video. See you guys in a sec. Alright, so that is it for my kind of like simple go-to kind of makeup. I do like to switch out my products quite a bit, but these are the kind of ones that I've been gravitating towards currently. Because I've put like blush and contour and stuff underneath the sheer foundation, it just looks a lot more skin-like, a lot more lifelike, if that makes sense. In real life, it looks better than what kind of like a full coverage foundation on, etc. This is just the way that I've personally been liking doing my makeup currently. Yeah, my skin just looks fresh, put together, and I just feel a bit more confident in my own skin, you know? Let me know in the comments down below, what are your kind of go-to products currently? And are you also verging towards the more natural looking makeup these days, or do you still love like a full beat? I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel like there's a time and a place for a full beat, but if I'm just going out the door and stuff, then this is the kind of makeup I've been doing. More bold on the eyes, simple skin, barely any lip product. Yeah, I'd be intrigued to know. Please leave a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. I have not done a video like this in a minute, so I'd really appreciate to know if you guys like this kind of content. And if you're new and just now stopping by my channel, I hope you decide to subscribe. All you need to do is hit the red button down below and the bell button, and that'll just notify you when I upload next. And yeah, that is it from me. I'm gonna love you and leave you. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I hope I see you on the next one. Till then, bye guys.